You agree with Donald Trump that it's important to bring back American jobs and industry, but you think tariffs are the wrong answer. What's the right answer?
The U.S. in the last 15 years have enjoyed $410 billion of trade surplus with Brazil. So he took this action due to a political case on Bolsonaro, which I regret profoundly, as inflation will go up, because coffee will become more expensive in the U.S., meat will become more expensive in the U.S., and the American people will pay for the mistakes that President Trump is incurring.
What's the solution instead, though?
Well, for any kind of conflict, the best alternative is to sit around a negotiation table and negotiate. What we cannot negotiate is the Brazilian sovereignty.
You've written articles which you say are to start a dialogue with Donald Trump. Why not just pick up the phone to him?
Because they don't want to talk.
But he said you can call him any time.
But they don't want to talk. It's important to remember that when President Trump communicated the taxation on imposing tariffs on Brazil, he didn't communicate in a civilized manner to
But now, why not try pick up
heads
the
of
phone to
states.
him?
He just published them in his portal, in his social media, and I found out by the newspapers in Brazil. Whenever they wish to talk, we're ready to talk.
In a few words, how would you describe your current relationship with President Trump?
There's no relationship.
None at all.
I had a lot of relationship with our former U.S. presidents. I had good relationships with President Bush, President Biden, with Obama.
You have built relationships, as you say, though, with other world leaders. You went to Russia's World War II anniversary celebrations, for example. Who do you have a better relationship with, President Putin or President Trump?
No, with President Putin I had a relationship because he was president in previous times, and I also was president of Brazil in previous times. I don't have any relationship with Trump because when President Trump was elected the first time, I was not the president. I was not in the presidency, and now his relation is with Bolsonaro, not with Brazil.
You say you want a more democratic United Nations. Why not call out the authoritarianism among some of your allies, Russia, China, Iran? These are countries where it has been widely documented that there have been unfair elections, undemocratic elections, and human rights abuses too.
I want that the United Nations should represent the geography, the world geography of the 21st century. Where's Brazil in the UN Security Council, China, India, Germany, Japan? Where are the African countries in the Security Council of the UN? So the UN cannot continue with just 5 permanent members. If it doesn't have strength, it will not have an influence in any conflict. They can't have any influence in the Ukraine war, in Israel.
I want to move on to COP30, where Brazil will be on the world stage hosting the COP30 climate summit. How is your climate leadership consistent with your personal desire to allow oil companies to drill in the Amazon basin?
COP was chosen to be held in the Amazon region because I want that the world, and they get to know truly the Amazon region.
But with respect, President, the International Energy Agency says there can't be any new oil projects if net zero is to be reached by 2050. Are they wrong?
Brazil is a country that has oil, and possibly we have oil in the Equatorial margin, and we are making surveys, and we're following the law and the rules so that we can do the research. We never had such a spill here, and if we do have a problem, we will be the ones that are liable and responsible to take care of the problem if it comes. I am totally favorable that there will be a moment that the world will not need any more fossil fuels, but this moment has not come yet. I want to know any country in the planet that is prepared to have an energy transition that is capable to give up fossil fuel.